Hello guys, welcome back to my channel or my shared world. In this part 2 session, I will explore the next 5 of those data exploration functions. So those who haven't watched the part 1 of this session, then please watch this video. I have already shared in the description box, so just get that link and watch the video and continue this one. So yes, let's start our today's session. In this, I have already imported the Pandas library as we were exploring the data exploration functions within there in the Pandas. So I have imported that. And here as well, we will work on the data file that is cars related data and stored it in the data frame DF. So now see our next 5 of those functions. So here in my list is as type. So as type is mainly used when you want to do the typecasting. Typecasting means explicitly, implicitly, forcefully if you want to change the data type of any specific field, then you can use this as type. So let's see how we can use this in Python, and we'll see with writing the code with respect to that. So let's say for that, first understand are the data types within this data file. So I will simply write df.dtypes and run this cell. When you do, you will see these are the data types here. And let's say for the cylindrical, it is in the integer format. This is in the integer format, as you can see. Those who are with the decimal, they are in the float. Let's say MPG, they are in the float. For the rest as well, this is uh, horsepower HP, it is in the integer. Model is in a textual format, is a string, so its data type is an object. So this is how it is by default. Python have taken this as a data type and considered it. So in many a times it has happened that let's say any currency is been defined in dollars or in rupees. So in that there will be a symbol, and along with that there will be the digits. So how the Python will understand? It will simply take it as a string, because for him the dollars is actually a text, something as a different than the numbers, any decimal point. So in that case, how you can change and this to an integer data type? There is a different method. For first, you need to extract that currency or any specific pattern is there, you have to remove that, and after that whatever the number is, you need to change it to the specific format. Let's say this currency, then I want to have it in a float format. So here as well, let's see and forcefully change one of that field's data type. Here is a cylinder which is in the integer format, integer 64. I want to change it in a float format. So let's write here and see df dot cylinder, the field that so you have to just give it a column name and then dot and write as type function. Call this function, and within this parenthesis, just simply write in what data type you want to change it. Here it is in an integer. I want to change it in a float. Please, I won't say that you go and drill down to which format, let's say float 64 or float 32, anything you can take. But I want to make it simple, that I want to change it simply in the float. I am not considering right now how big that float number has to be in how many bytes and all. So I'm simply just considering a float. But where I will assign back to that same field. So for that, I will write here df dot cylinder is equal to, so syl, simply because that is what the column name is, and is equal to, and this is how. So whatever the change in the data type is, it will again reflect back to that same field. So that is what this code states. So now run this cell. It is successful. Now if I run this same, let me just copy this command and paste it over here, and now run this cell. You will see the difference, that the cylinder has now changed to the float. So this is the power of as type, and this is how you can change the data type of any particular field. here I have take one example of cylinder. So this is what the difference is. Initially it was on the 64 integer 64, and now it's changed to the float 64. And if you want to see this, what is there with the records, then you will also see what is the difference. Let's say df dot head, and run this cell now, and you will see the difference that the cylinder is now showing in some decimal, though there is no point of giving after decimal there is a zero, but at least we change the data type of that as our requirement, as per what we felt. So, and what we asked Python to do this and do this task and change the data type of this field. So this is what my first function. Now let's explore the next one. So in my list here is number 7 is sort values. Sort values itself says values need to be sort, but in what format? In a particular manner, whether it is an ascending or in descending. So if you want to rearrange or arrange all your data type in some specific order, whether it is an ascending or descending, then such function you can call in pandas. And you must be wonder why I am showing this and why it's so important. Yeah, it is important whenever you want to analyze your whole report, and I want to sort that in specific order, from descending order. Let's say, for example, who is having the highest income salary. So how I can have it? I can show it in a if it's I show it in a decreasing order, and then I will make just that the first record I want to fetch. Then this is how. So for that you need to first sort the data on what terms, on some specific field. So this is how. So let's say I want to sort this data on some specific fields, or the combination of two or more fields. You can also sort that. So let's say in miles per gallon or cylinder, or based on the horsepower, anything. So let's take a cylinder, and based on the horsepower, I want to have this whole data set to be sorted. So for that, let's write df dot sort underscore values, and within the parenthesis I will pass based on which are the columns that I want to sort this. So as I have told you that I want to sort based on horsepower, HP, and if I want to sort in this way, then this has to be in brackets. It should be in brackets. Okay. Then comma, in which particular order. So there is a attribute within this sort values is an ascending. So in which, if I say ascending is equal to true, which means I want to sort them in an ascending order. If I say ascending is equal to false, then it will be in the descending. So let's say I want to sort this in a descending manner. And now after that I want to just have the head count, the initial 10 records that I want to see. So how this data type will look like. So now let's run this cell. So this has now been changed. The highest horsepower among this whole data set will be reflected in the first record. So if you can see here in the index, there is a drastic difference. You won't see a sequential. Now it's in a random, not a random, but exactly the way we have put a condition here. I want to sort this in a descending order, which means that based on just a horsepower, I am not at all considering what is the miles per gallon or cylinder or carburetor or lots of other fields are. So I'm just considering and giving this condition that I want to sort this whole data based on the horsepower, and it should be in the descending order. If I keep this in this way, then the highest among this is a Maserati Boro model of that car. Then there comes Ford Pantra, which is having the horsepower 264. Then comes a Duster, and so on and so forth. So, but if you see this, this is going downward. if you sort this, you will see this is going in a downward direction. So on what basis? It's just on the basis of this HP. So this is how you can sort your data. This is just a one example that I have shown, but you can use n number of ways and in n number of condition where you can sort the data and get the respective records out of it, just giving the condition on this. So this was the number seventh of my list, and now I will add few more. So here the next one is value counts. Value counts is what is or how, which are the unique records of your data. So if you want to see for a specific field, then you can use this value count. So let's see this with a code. You will get a more understanding of this. If I write df dot cylinder dot value counts, what do you expect with this cylinder? This cylinder has to be in few, certainly few records, because if you see this, these are just 8.0 as we have changed it. But if I say that what are the different then unique records within this within this field, I am not considering how many or what. I'm just saying that how many unique records are there within this particular field. So for that, simply writing this value counts and parenthesis or empty parenthesis, and this now run the cell. You will see that the cylinder, the unique records within the cylinder field is 8.0, 4.0, and 6.0. And amongst that 8.0 is 14 of them within this data file, 14 of such rows which are having this record. 4.0 of the cylinder, any cylinder with the value 4.0 is 11, and 6 of this having are 7. So this is how you can have what are the unique records and their respective counts within this data file. So this is what we can use the value counts here. Now the next one is in my list is drop duplicates. Now drop duplicates is the most important data exploration function is within Pandas, because you might know or not, but sometimes it is possible that there are a lot of duplicates out there and you cannot able to recognize, because there are millions and billions of records out. You cannot see individually check how many counts are there, whether there is a duplicate. If there is a duplicate, that means you are influencing, or it will definitely gonna impact on your data analysis. It's not that you will get a straightforward analysis where there is no biasing. You are biasing by self if there is a duplicates, because that will definitely impact it. The influence of any specific records will, maybe it will change overall analysis. So it is really important to drop the duplicates. So here the drop the duplicates could be only based on the row records, not on the column side. Dropping the column is different and dropping the duplicates is different. So dropping the duplicates is always going to be for the whole record, as not a record, I would say for the whole particular row. So row wise checking of the duplicates is actually used when and being checked and analyzed, and if there is a duplicate, will be removed out of it. So let's see and explore, is there any duplicates are there within this file, and if there, then we will simply discard those. For this, you need to write df dot drop underscore duplicates, and in the parenthesis just write in place is equal to true. Drop duplicates if any duplicates are there, and this has been checked at the row levels. Okay, so just this is checking on the row level side. Okay, So this at the row level, it's been duplicate, has been removed. But this in place is equal to true, which is by default will be a false. What is the meaning of in place is whenever you want to remove anything and permanently, I'm highlighting this word permanently. If you want to remove anything permanently, then just use in place is equal to true. If you write by default, it is in place is equal to false, which means temporarily for the specific cell, it will show you that, okay, I have removed the duplicates. But if you check again this, the data set, then you will still will see that those duplicates. So I would highly recommend that if you want to change this whole data and want to remove this permanently, then right here in place is equal to true. So let's run this cell. Okay. And now as we run, we haven't checked whether this has any duplicates or not. So let's just simply write here df dot shape. Oops. Df dot shape and just write here, and it is 32 cross 13, which states that there are 32 records and 13 columns. And as I said, I'm again repeating, drop duplicates will remove the duplicates at the row level. There is no change in the column side. It's just a removing on the record side. But if you remember this previous video, in that I have already shown this df dot shape, and let's see here at the top as well. There would be something. So if you have checked initially about this shape, then in that df dot shape there is already 32 cross 13, which states that even after doing this and running the cell of dropping the duplicates, it's still the shape remains the same, which means there is no duplicates at all. So this is how you can check your duplicates. And uh, if there is a change in the number of records, let's say there would be a 30, then in that case, I would say that two of those records, two rows of that records were having a duplicate. So that's why it has been removed. So that was the number ninth, drop duplicates, which is the most important function within the pandas. Now, let's explore for this today's session the final one, that is number 10th. So in this list, so the number 10th is group by. This group by function is used when you want to split your data with on some specific condition, and mostly whenever you do some kind of a summary, the some descriptive summary based, if you want to create, let's say you want to find the mean, the median, or the standard deviation of a specific numeric field based on some condition, or you want to calculate the frequency counts. So group by is there the most useful, but most probably group by is you want to not just to sort the data, but you need to split the data based on some specific condition. So let's see how we can use. So I'm going to show you this one of the example, one of the scenario where you can use a group by. So let's say for this data we have here, in this case, let's say I want to have to group this whole data based on some cylinder, and with respect to this miles per gallon. So I just want to see what is the mean, the average miles per gallon based on the cylinders. As we know that the cylinder types are 8, 4, and 6. So for every specific types, what is average miles per gallon? So I just want to see how it is, whether it is increasing the miles per gallon or decreased with the number of cylinders increase or decrease. So let's see with this group by function. So for this, you need to write here df dot group by, and within the parenthesis, I will pass on one particular dimension based on which you want to change or you want to split this data. So let's say I want to split this data based on the cylinder, and After that, I want to do a kind of manipulation, a calculation that, let's say, miles per gallon. Based on it, I want to have the mean value of it. So now run the cell, and you will see that if the number of cylinder in the car is 4, then the average miles per gallon, that is, this is the mean value of this miles per gallon, that is 26.66. If the cylinders is 6, the number of cylinders are 6, then this is the average miles per gallon. If I say the cylinder is 8, the number of cylinders are 8, then in that case, the average miles per gallon is 15.10. So if you see, then if you raise the number of cylinders in your car, then that will definitely impact the miles per gallon. So the fuel consumption will definitely gonna increase as the number of cylinder increase, and that's how that will reduce the miles per gallon. So it will cost a lot, so fuel consumption gonna increase. So this is how group by works out for you. If you want to split this data based on the cylinder, and not just for that, you also want to summarize your data with some specific value. So this is one of the example of the group by, and these are my next 5 of those that I have listed here. So I hope you like this video, and I will see you on the next one, which is the final 5 of those. So which are there remaining? So I simply uh, want to say that if you learn this top 15 of mine, which are I have listed down, that whenever you start with your data analysis, you will see that these are the most useful and most frequent data exploration functions that are there in Pandas, that you wanna see in any of the portal you use go or you do your analysis. So stay with me, and I'm sure that you will learn a lot in this journey. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you really like this video, then please do share this video, subscribe my channel, and if I would really appreciate if you write in comment sections and feedback, or if you have any suggestion, then please write it down. It really motivates me to give you and create such a videos that it's helpful to each and everyone, and I will try my best to impart as much as I can whatever the knowledge that I have and what experience I do have as being a data scientist and being a part of this data science field. So please watch this video and do support me and share this video to everyone and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.